they threw this out of the Bible.
Yeah.
Because it basically tells you, you know, who they are. It tells you how they got over here. It basically goes in tune and depth on who so-called white people are. You know what I'm saying?
I've been this dude been telling me, you got a Deuteronomy 28?
Yeah, that's what I just got.
That's what you just told
Deuteronomy
me right now.
28 and 68. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And look, check this out. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 3. It says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." Now, this is talking about Africans and Arabs, because when you look up the history, when the so-called white man came over to gather us from Africa, the Arabs and the Africans helped them gather us up, and the white man gave them wine and musket guns. So they sold us into slavery, you know what I'm saying, for wine,
drunkenness, and violence.
Exactly. Now the Africans, the reason why I'm saying so-called Africans, because Africans aren't a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Those Africans that they, so-called Africans that they rounded up, those so-called Africans were Israelites. And the reason that they knew that was because of the customs that we kept. And I'm going to get that for you, just to further show you. Because of the customs that we kept. Because, you know, we wore garments like this. You see this? We wore garments. We wore garments with the border of blue with the fringes that represents the 613 laws. You know what I'm saying? So this is our customs in the sight of the people that are not of the 12 tribes of Israel, to let them know we're the 12 tribes of Israel. So those Africans actually knew that we weren't Africans, because if you look at the customs of the so-called Africans, their customs, they let cows piss on their head as a ritual. They circumcise their women. You know what I'm saying? They put a whole bunch of tribal tattoos on them. They're
cutting their face up and all that stuff.
Exactly. They're so-called heathens in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So look, check this out. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments." Now he's talking to the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. He said, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them," talking about the 613 laws, the Levitical laws. And it says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people." That's talking about the tribes. It says, "For what nation is there so great, who hath God so nigh unto them, that the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for?" So basically that's letting you know that our customs that we keep in the sight of people that ain't us, basically nations outside of the nation of Israel, you know, which are the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we have certain customs to differentiate ourselves from us. Like, let me ask you this: would you eat squid, like a whole squid?
No.
Chinese people do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What else? They eat baby fetuses. They're cannibals. You know what I'm saying? Because people got a misconception that, God and Jesus Christ, they're coming for everybody. Well, the Lord, I'm gonna get that. The Lord not coming for everybody. The Lord's only coming for his nation.
Man, I seen something on, I don't know if it's real or not. Maybe you can tell me or not. But I seen some on the internet where the Chinese, they be eating monkey brain.
Yeah, well, they're heathens. They're not a part of. They're not a part of us. Look, we have our people, even though we're in the state that we're in. You know, like we still have a zeal, but it's just not according to knowledge, as Romans the 10th chapter says. So we do the things of the law, you know, because a lot of our people ain't awake to the fact that they're Israelites. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not here to wake up my people. Exactly. Like you say you're so-called African American, you be from the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? And that's where our Lord sprang out of. He sprang out of the tribe of Judah. But our people are not calling themselves Israelites. They're calling themselves bywords and proverbs and reproaches, all right? They're calling themselves black, Native Americans, you know what I'm saying, Latinos. Those are names that the so-called white man gave us as a byword and a reproach unto us. You know what I'm saying? So us calling ourselves that's not who we are. But when you do the research in the scriptures and you go, oh, wait, hold on. Damn, hold on. Slave ships, what? Wait, hold on. Damn, we're the Israelites. No way. And a lot of other prophecies that link up in the scriptures that further prove we're the Israelites. I'm going to get a couple more for you.
Yes, sir.
Look, this is Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. It's talking about Israel, the Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Most High chose the 12 tribes of Israel above all people on the face of the earth to be his people. Now people got another misconception that, that changed in the New Testament. Jesus Christ came for everybody. No, he didn't, because the Lord said in Malachi 3:6, I do not change. So the same way the Lord was back then, we're his people. Exactly. If we were his people back then, we're going to be his people still. Right. If he don't have no other nation, if he don't like no other nation but us, then that's going to be the same way. So these people try to slip their way in to having grace. So you know what I'm saying? Because what they did to us, you know, and that's the main thing too about this thing. You know, you find out who you are, and you find out who your true enemies are. You know what I'm saying? It would only be obvious that your true enemies are the ones that help us go into slavery. You know what I'm saying? The ones that did all those horrible acts to us in slavery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get down for you too. But it says, but because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, which the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. So it's because the Lord gave an oath to our forefathers, is why we're still the 12 tribes of Israel, why we're a chosen people unto himself.
Heard something about that.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna further get more scriptures to show you that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, because, you know, look at the prison population.
Is there a verse where it says that something like we had somehow we were the chosen tribes, but then we had not listened to God, and then he put us in bondage for 400 years over here.
Yeah, I'm about to get it for you right now. I'm about to get it for you right now. Look,
something like that.
This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse, I'm going to start at 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. Now, what's the majority of the population hid in prison houses?
You already know. Yeah.
So he's furthermore again telling you, like, look, my people, the 12 tribes of Israel, because the majority of the population in the prison houses are what? Mexicans, blacks, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans. So he's telling you once again, look, my people are hid in prison houses, man, in America. So
that's crazy that it says that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's straight to the point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it says they are for a prey and none deliver it. And we are for a prey out here, because, you know, the majority of the people that cops are shooting down are what? So-called Negroes, right?
Right.
Because they have an agenda to get rid of us. You know what I'm saying? Right. To get rid of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why the so-called white man did what he did to us in slavery. That's why right now, you know what I'm saying, you see so-called Negroes being shot down by cops. So really those are practice runs. They're using guerrilla warfare, you know what I'm saying, against us, man. And it says, and none delivereth for a spoil, and none saith restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? This is the Lord talking. Who did this? Who put us into slavery, like you said, for 400 years? Why did the Lord put us into slavery for 400 years, man? Who gave the so-called white man the authority to kill us like they did? The Native Americans too. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's about to tell you. It says, did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned, for they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his laws. That answer your question? You know what I'm saying? So the Lord said, look, I did this to y'all because you didn't walk in my way, neither were you obedient to my law. Because every time you went into a captivity, it was because the Lord put us in there because we were going off. We weren't following his law, statutes, and commandments. Because look, I mean, our people, like I'll put it to you this way. Like, when the Lord's with us, man, can't nobody be against us. But the thing is, when we're disobedient to him, you know, ask for a chastisement, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get that for you.